Welcome to the Chip and Cern Show, the podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. They were possibly separated at birth, only to be rejoined to create the sweet sounds that will caress your deepest cochlea. The show is real, random, rant-filled, and ruthless. Please be warned that the show may hurt your feelings, offend your grandma, and even kick your dead dog in the balls. So get ready, and let's get this shit started.
This shit has started. I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
And you are listening to the Chip and Cern Show. We will jump right into probably the hottest topic in the past week.
Yes. United Airlines.
United Airlines.
We have to talk about it because everyone's talking about it.
Right. We wouldn't be a, get to the point type of show without it. So, for anyone that hasn't seen, should we play the clip or? Okay. So,
if you don't know, crawl out of your cave.
Yeah.
Turn on TV, turn on the internet, something of that nature.
So this paying United Airlines customer,
David
Dow, was aboard a flight leaving Chicago or something, right, Cerny? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to get so many facts wrong within the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And
they were just gonna have complete nonsense.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Billy D. Williams Jr. whatever that guy was.
So airlines have the tendency to maximize their own profits. They overbook airlines, just the same practice that sort of like hotels do and rental car places. That if there's only, let's just say 100 seats, they'll book 105 knowing that 6 or 8 people, they've done all the math and the calculations, and they probably have a team of analysts to figure out for flights leaving Chicago, we have a non-boarding rate for this and that. So the standard practice, from my understanding, is you get bumped from your flight. So me and Cerny could be flying on a nice romantic getaway to Hawaii.
Okay.
And they can say, "Hi guys, we know you paid for your tickets and you have a seat here, and your whole vacation's contingent on making this flight.
Yeah.
But you need to give your seat up because we've overbooked. So someone else gets this."
Yes. Or we need to fly. In that case, it was employees.
Oh, right, yeah. And it was employees have to fly to make their whatever the situation. Was, yeah. So usually they're
for the crew.
Yeah, they will compensate you for this. Like, okay, here's a $400 voucher each, and we'll pay for if you have to stay over, here's like a hotel, blah, 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 and you'll get a free rental car. They try to sweeten the deal to take the sting off of it. Since, as some people would say, my bad, it was their bad that they overbooked.
Yeah.
They're trying to be a little greedy, I would say. So in this situation, they started the offer at $400. No one bit. At $800, nobody took it, or not enough people took it.
Yeah.
So they said, we're going to have to randomly draw 4 people, and they picked
to get the boot.
That's going to get booted. From my understanding, the other people left, and without it, did they leave and get the $800? That would be my question.
I
would think
if you get booed, I think you still get compensated.
Okay.
I don't think you just jack your
shit. No, you didn't go when you said so. Yeah. You're tough luck, tough titty. So this guy, he was saying, or he's stating that he's a physician and he had doctors, or he had
to work at 8 a.m. the next morning
in like Louisville or where the fuck they were going.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I need to get to my patients tomorrow to work. I have to be working.
Yeah. So no. And so the whole thing is they bring the cops on board. He was a Kentucky physician, just to get our facts straight.
Oh, Kentucky. Perfect. Thank you, Cerny. We have Cerny, the fucking fact checker. Do we have a fact checking? We have a lot of new drops here, and I'm like looking at all of them. It's too many for me to remember. And so basically the cops, they're like, let's go. This is going to be tough. There was word, he was belligerent. He was fighting back, and he just wouldn't leave. The cops literally drug him over the armrest and drug him down the aisle. This, like, how old?
69.
Damn, 69. Literally dragging him like you would drag a dead body down. On an airplane, the aisle's pretty narrow.
It is narrow, yeah.
And they're dragging him.
It's not built for the obese.
His fucking belly's hanging out. He's screaming. He hit his head on those hard-ass armrests.
Yeah.
He's fucking bleeding and shit. They drug him off the plane and he's screaming. It was pretty horrific to kind of hear it. And the, cell phone, everyone fucking had their cell phones out for this one.
Oh, yeah.
And people are like, what are you doing? That's not right. And that type of thing. So anyway, this fool is assuming he's going to sue him pretty good. But we have the video here. This is kind of the main one now, almost up over 3.5 million views.
All right. So the following footage may be disturbing.
Which... So as you can tell, he's not thrilled.
No.
Literally what the first scene opened. And this is a 69, like, this is kind of getting around our parents' age. I couldn't imagine someone dragging, older than, like, what's some people's grandparents getting drug out of a...
First off, he looks great for 69.
Yeah. He must keep in shape.
Must describe him just for men.
Asian doesn't... Oh. They don't crack. And there's a big... How big is this fucking guy right here, Cerny? Probably 6'4", 220. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's big.
So is it an air marshal?
I don't know. Okay. He's like a PD.
We
I don't know.
We don't want to get our facts wrong.
Yeah, so
we don't want to get blasted.
Asterisk against my air marshal.
Yeah. But there
was sort of law enforcement.
Yeah, law enforcement or something.
Could be a ranger, a park ranger. I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know.
Or Oh my God. So now they've drugged him out into the aisle, and he's on his back.
So my favorite part of this video, I say favorite, poor bastard, is the lady with the 2 cents just kind of sitting there. Oh no, look what you're doing to him. Pipe down, lady.
So now at this point, they have him out in the aisle. He's on his back, and they have him by his arms. And they pretty much yanked him over those armrests, and he hit his head somewhere along here.
Yeah.
Come on.
So everyone's pretty... Oh, now we just got a fucking... Oh, so someone... United flight was overbooked. Okay. We got bamboozled by YouTube video.
Should have watched the full thing before.
Yeah. We should have, invested 23 seconds. So...
That's the meat of it anyway. And then the rest of it is him just screaming, the lady yelling, oh my God.
And apparently he made it back on the plane? And he was like babbling and stuff?
Yeah, he ran back on.
So did he ended up not making... So, I mean, that is a little concerning in itself. Like, so the whole security thing is not even that secure. If he can make it back on?
He's 69. You can't stop him?
Apparently not. He's a spry. He's spry 69. So, Cerny, have you ever been bumped from a flight? You're not a big airplane
Not
guy.
a big flyer.
When's the last flight you went on?
A trip to New York.
Was really?
Yeah.
Fuck, that was like 10 years ago, probably.
9.
So I've never been bumped. I don't want to say I would welcome it, but if I was flying by myself or something, I would totally take a couple $100 for free. And
yeah, if
it was for work, especially, I'd be like,
we're not physicians, so
yeah, that's true.
But
I got my computer. I could work from fucking Seattle, San Francisco, or Kentucky. It doesn't matter.
Your house?
Yeah, my house. So now, how do you feel about the practice of overbooking? Now, this isn't just exclusive to airlines. This is hotels and rental cars and stuff.
Not my favorite. I know they want to maximize the profits, and they're anticipating a percentage of cancellations.
Yeah.
But when something like this happens, now if you are going to do something like this, we'll get into it. We got into a debate with a certain son of a bitch.
Yeah. Tony, who doesn't listen, he's a son of a bitch.
I thought they should have just kept sweetening the deal. Keep going.
Like at 800, 1,000, like someone's going to take it at some point.
Eventually, yeah.
And
again, even if it goes up to a couple grand, would they lose 800 million the very next day?
Yeah, market cap.
Yeah. So, I think that's maybe the approach they should have took.
Yeah.
Now I know you're going to get people that say, well, then knowing that, then the next person will everyone else will just sit there and wait until okay. But if usually when I deal with other I don't know about you, when another company that's say like a DirecTV or an internet provider, whatever, when they screw up, and I go and we have to do the exchange,
Yeah.
I see, okay, I understand. I say, okay, I understand you screw up, but I will not pay for your fuck up.
Yeah.
This whole, you fucked up, then you
this person paid.
You pay for it.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, obviously, and that probably goes without saying, but this fool's going to make, I don't even know the amount of money that he's, $100 million. Is that crazy to say he's going to win that kind of money from the lawsuit? And there's going to be the David Dow bill and all this shit that comes out from Congress and stuff.
It'll be a Lifetime movie.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it will. Your wife will tune in. Yeah. Now here's the thing. Okay, they don't overbook, and at first, I kind of came at it from this point like, okay, the cops are there. Like, why wouldn't you just leave? It's kind of something that you take with, hey, I fly. This has the potential to happen to me. It can happen to anyone. Why didn't the guy just get up when the cops told him to? It's like, just do it, dude. You're causing delay. And my wife was like, hey, he paid for his seat. He's entitled for it. Why should he have to suffer because of the greedy corporation, which I felt was a good point and totally changed my mind because I'm easily influenced. Yeah, and I mean, this guy's gonna. No one should be treated that way.
No, and I heard a couple people say, "Well, I mean, if you really just think of the awe of flying, and I mean, 100 years ago, you'd have to take a fuck. No. It doesn't matter. 100 years ago, you'd have to, the Oregon Trail or whatever the fuck it is."
That's ridiculous.
Today,
right.
You can fly, and that's part of the norm.
Yeah.
So, he paid for the seat. Come on.
Right. And it's not something crazy like he accidentally got it or ran into a really good deal. Like, he's a legit paying customer. Now, I understand the overbooking thing. That's how the flights are so cheap, because they could really maximize, hey, if we 100% capacity this airplane, we can bring the tickets down a little bit.
Yeah.
Or we could do this and that. And if they're not allowed to overbook or whatever the situation, I can see ticket prices come up because they're going to have to make their money somehow. But
that's the way. Now, maybe put them on a little propeller plane. The crew, and fly them if it's an emergency. I don't know.
Now, United was in the news a couple weeks ago because a couple people wore leggings.
Yes,
on
right.
And they were forced to change.
Yeah.
But that situation was a little different too.
Because they were flying on a
comp's ticket or something. Like employee.
So you got an employee dress code.
Right.
That one, okay. At first I heard, I was like, those motherfuckers. And then I was like, okay, that's kind of a sticky.
Yeah, it's just. I wouldn't want to be in the news for any of those things. I would just say whatever,
But that one died out pretty. That kind of fizzled out once. I was like, well, they were flying under the okay.
Yeah, okay.
Getting a freebie and all right, that's fine.
Yeah,
just put some fucking pants on, I guess.
Maybe we should.
If you're flying for free under an employee, and then I guess you gotta.
Don't be a fucking idiot about it. It's like when you get the big boss gives you the box seats for the baseball game, and you go in there. You can't get fucking shithouse in the thing when all the VPs are in there, and you're like, fuck this guy. You
open bar, dude.
Right. You got any Coke?
So just to go over Mr. Dow's his injury according to his lawyer.
Yeah.
Significant concussion, a broken nose, a sinus injury.
Oh. Well, hold on. Is that included in the broken nose?
Yeah,
Isn't that his sinuses?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But anyway. He is said to also have lost 2 front teeth and will be undergoing reconstructive surgery. I think it's his leg is what it is.
Wow.
Or his knee or something. When I first I was like, well, I didn't know he's 69. So now I'm like, oh, okay, I can see if I tossed around a 69-year-old, then they might lose some teeth and get fucked up.
I mean, the dude could have fucking died.
Oh, that'd have been.
Imagine if he was a black guy. Holy fucking shit! United would be out of bankrupt already.
Yeah.
The media would have lost their shit on this, but
I'm sure that's from what nationality is he? Asian? Oh, all right.
Okay. Well. Too bad.
All right, that's too bad. We'll report it, but we won't.
Now
we won't start the march.
A couple days after, like a day or two after, some rag mag like the Daily Mail UK or something, which is the equivalent of like the National Enquirer or some shit. I think
they're the ones that reported in like January or February or whatever that some Russian astronomer predicted that this asteroid was going to kill Earth, and it was like 7 days away. Oh. And I remember my brother texted me, he's like, "Did you see?" And I was like, "What?" And I looked, I was like, "The Daily Mail, you fucking idiot."
It's like almost it's a notch above the Onion.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, I'd take the Onion with more weight.
Yeah,
but
I would too.
I think the Daily Mail also just got sued by Trump's wife, because they like printed that pretty much she was being a prostitute, and they
that's right.
They printed some incorrect facts, and they won like $9 million. I'm like, right. Oh, good. Fuck the bullshit newspaper.
Yeah, tabloids.
Anyway, the tabloids kind of put out like, oh, this doctor, I'm sure you could pull it up. They said that he had written fake prescriptions in trades for gay sex, and had been divorced like 4 times. Like they basically tried to like unearth everything about him. And I'm like, one, it doesn't matter what his fucking character assassination they're trying to do. They didn't research, okay, who's the biggest scumbag we got on board here? But it was kind of a thing. And when you would talk to some people about this, if they were, on the pro-United, hey, he should have just got up type of thing, they were like, well, did you hear who that was? It'd be like, oh, if, a drunk driver ran over a group of like a AA for child molesters meeting or something, like, well, all these guys died, but they were all bad people. I feel that's what the Daily Mail was trying to paint a little bit towards them.
So the LA Times says no, the news media did not get the wrong David Dow. Maybe he does have a criminal history.
Okay.
Keep talking while I keep browse real quick.
I don't think it matters what his history is. It doesn't. That weighs no factor in this, in my opinion. I don't think that.
No, that's so.
They're just trying to fuck him. Get some clicks.
I'm trying to read and talk at the same time. I'll just go over. I don't like it when. So we have this. This guy gets dragged off, and then we go, oh, look at his character. I mean, he's not
a good guy.
No, and then we go to, his name eludes me. But the kid who started the whole Black Lives Matter, the one that got shot, who was
Trayvon,
yeah. Well, no. Was that him? No, the one that fucked up.
Oh, the big guy that was selling the cigarettes.
No, the one that fucked up the
other black guy that could kick him on the cops. Yeah, it's too many.
There were so many names rolling through. Okay. So, but remember the kid that it was Brown or whatever. His last name was Brown, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, I forget his name. He got in trouble because he fucked up the convenience store and then was running around and the cop, and then he charged the cop, and well, he's just a kid, and he was really good. So, well, hold on. I mean, if you're gonna, maybe he didn't deserve to get shot. Actually, maybe he did not deserve to get shot, but he was doing something.
He's
incorrect.
Not as good as what some people.
So if you were saying, yeah.
Okay.
So he wasn't a role model citizen, but he didn't deserve this. Well, then David Dow, maybe not a role model citizen, but he still didn't deserve it. So let's either or. We can't go back and forth on. Well, hold on, David Dow is. I mean, he was slinging drugs. I'm like, well, hold on.
He's trying to get his dick sucked for a couple of fucking OxyContin.
Come on now.
Doesn't make you a bad person.
No.
But I think they're definitely trying to kind of paint that a little bit like, oh, he's not as good a person as, because all the articles came out, he was resisting, and then people were acting too that he was just, sitting there like a Buddhist or something and just waiting there, and they yanked him out and they beat the shit out of him like Rodney King or some shit. But we'll kind of see. Oh, maybe it's a blend of the two, but obviously this ragmag is I'm gonna say probably more on the fake news.
Fake news.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Than more on the real news.
I'm gonna say
Cerny he sent a video over with some great show prep about saying, oh, he was United claimed, and the thing. I don't think United handled this very well, because straight out of the gate, they're pretty much like, well, it's our policy that if it's overbooked, you need to leave, and we brought the cops on, so that's just what we do. And he should have got up, and
it's in the fine print.
It's in the fine print, so he should have just gotten up and left, and he was being belligerent with people and blah blah blah.
Just comply. You know, I hear that, and for the most part, I understand. You know, when say, well, comply. At a certain point, when it's not right, do you comply with it? You know, that thought process. It's like, oh, okay, I'm not getting off the plane. You know, there's a certain tipping point, you know, to comply. No.
Yeah, I don't think so. Anyway, CERN found this video that's on Instagram or whatever.
Of David Dow being belligerent.
Yeah, David Dow being belligerent, and he's pretty much on the phone talking to someone, and he's like, no, they're asking me to get off the plane, and I have to see patients tomorrow, and I'm not going. And the cops there like, you need to go, dude. And he goes, I'd rather go to jail. I'm not leaving. And he's kind of talking on the phone at the same time.
By his lawyer.
And then, I don't have a lawyer, but I would call, I don't know.
Be Googling one while the marshal's coming down for me.
JG Wentworth. The only goddamn number I can remember, JG Wentworth. And
I need my money. I need it now.
Yeah. I'd call the general. That's a fucking for 1-800 money now. I'm like, what's that? Well, I'm gonna need it with my busted teeth, my nasal stuff.
My sinus injury.
So, well, we were group chatting this because there was memes that were coming out and everything of this, and some, not particularly in the chat that we were in, but some people thought it was, I don't want to say fun, but they're like, oh, it's funny, like to hear him screaming and stuff, I guess was sort of comical, but
I mean,
the situation as a whole I wouldn't say is funny.
No.
And I guess I sort of appreciate the stance that's like, well, he just should have got up and left. I sort of get that.
Yeah.
But, and I don't think that this person David thought he was better than another passenger or not.
Yeah, he just had to do something, so no.
Yeah, and he, stood his ground, like, not that this is in any way the same magnitude, but like, hey, Rosa Parks at some point was fucking told to leave the
and he said,
front of the bus, right, or back?
No, told to go.
She was in the front, told to go to the back, and she said no. So, not to the same magnitude, obviously. I'm definitely not trying to say that, but, there needs to be some uprising. Fuck the police sometimes. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right, I agree.
Now, very ironically, we are flying next week on United.
Oh.
So I am unsure. Now, that one time that and I don't fly United because I never hear any good things about them.
No, they're usually jackasses.
Shitty. And the problem is that if you fly out of a certain airport, like there's, I don't know, O'Hare is a United airport. Like it's like one of their hub airports and all this shit.
Yeah.
Luckily, an SFO, Virgin, and Alaskan, and Hawaiian, and all these other airlines fly out of there. So there's way more choices. So I usually fly Virgin if I can.
Okay.
/ Alaskan. But some people don't have a choice if they want to get anywhere,
True. Yeah, there are certain cases where.
So what do you have? What the changes they made to their policy?
I do. I'll just close it down.
I mean, now.
So this happened on the 14th.
Okay.
So April 14th. United, or this was published.
Oh, the policy change was on it.
So United Airlines changed its policy on displacing customers. So United
displacing customers, like how could you imagine being like going to fucking Subway and they're like, you need to leave the line, and you're like, what? I just want my sandwich.
Yeah.
And two big dudes like just grab you and fucking literally chuck you out of the bar,
Get the fuck
out of the
here.
Subway. Like, what the fuck?
So United Airlines crew members will no longer be able to bump a passenger who's already seated in one of the airline's planes. So the policy change was first reported by TMZ. So a spokesperson for the airline confirms that United has updated its policy to make sure crew members traveling on our aircraft are booked at least 60 minutes prior to departure. So maybe you still can be bumped.
Yo, it sounds like you totally can.
But you're
not gonna be in your fucking seat, buckled up.
Yeah.
Your bag up in the head and everything.
And down below and everything. Yeah, I know.
That's another bullshit. Like, if you're at the gate and it's like, hey, you know, there's more that they could do. They have the gate. They can check all the flights. They're, you know, friends with the fucking Southwest people. They could check that shit out to find you another route or something. But if you're in your seat already, like that's extreme.
That's probably made the situation.
Yeah.
And no doubt.
I mean, I would be, anyway.
I agree with that. I agree.
I think United can go fuck themselves, and I can't wait to see what sort of...
I mean, they had a bad... You know, they had the leggings, then they had this, and then I think the same day they had the scorpion issue as well.
That shit's fucking scary. A scorpion fell out of, like, the...
So Richard Bell said a scorpion fell from the overhead bin onto his head during lunch from a trip from Houston, Texas, to Calgary in Canada. So
damn, that's like wow, that's probably 4 or 5 hour flight at least.
Yeah. So it's, I think it like fell onto his head. Then he went to like, you know, what is that? And it stung him.
Oh my God.
So United offered some compensation. He says.
I also heard that they refunded the entire airplane's ticket that was on that David Dow flight.
So the guy in the back with the camera who got the view and everything else, YouTube star, free trip. He made out like a bandit.
Yeah, and I mean you would. Now I feel some airlines you fly on are way more accommodating than others and nice, and they want to do the right thing. United just seems like, in general,
fuck you.
It's from the top down, scumbag, fuck you, corporation kind of bullshit that people are coming to hate pretty strongly. So, my wife and I actually talked like, hey, should we change these flights from United to like, you know, I don't want to say protest, but sort of like say that we don't really approve that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, it's a good deal. So I guess
my wallet speaks.
We'll keep it. Yeah. But I mean, I avoid booking them in the first place, United, but now moving forward, I think for sure I will doubly avoid.
At work, when we have to book and flights and stuff, it's no, they are not a preferred.
Oh, okay.
You know, now if you have to fly into a
United hub,
then you have to use it. But other than that, they're not preferred.
Interesting.
So we don't use them.
Well, I'll fill you in on when we get back from our trip on how the airline went.
Are we gonna see on YouTube?
Maybe. I saw like I'm sure it was fake or it was a gimmick or whatever. But these guys had like MMA masks on, and they were like sitting. There was like about 6 guys, and they were all sitting on the airplane. They all had like hockey masks on, ready for the next. This was like a day or two after. I thought that was pretty funny. But you would think that they would be so sensitive to any thing about request and they're like, oh, can we bump you? And they're gonna be like,
so I mean,
$2,000.
Maybe now is the time to fly United,
because no one will be on it.
Just like when, what was it like? Taco Bell had sawdust in their meat and stuff. And like, I'm never eating there. No, now's the time.
Right now,
they're gonna be clean as shit because everyone's looking at them.
That's a very good point, Cerny. Very good point. We don't really have any airline horror stories. You don't fly that much. I fly.
No,
on
and
occasion.
when I did, it was pretty smooth. It wasn't.
Yeah. So I guess if you have any horror stories or you'd like to weigh in on the
hopefully we got our facts straight.
Yeah. United story, feel free to tweet us or whatever. Chip and Cern Show and all that jazz.
We're a Gmail, so it's chipandcernshow@gmail.com.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, just so you know, just Chip and Cern Show, but so it's actually a Gmail. No.
No Chip or .com.
Yeah, chipandcernshow.com, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, anything Chip and Cern Show, anything Chip and Cern Show.
Or if you just Google Chip and Cern Show, let's see. Yeah. Our iTunes link comes up, YouTube, and our website, Facebook, Twitter, Libsyn, Stitcher, SoundCloud. I mean, you cannot find us if you just search Chip and Cern Show.
Apple
Podcast?
Chip and
Cern, Apple Podcast.
Yeah.
Even if you just search Chip and Cern, CERN, and Chip, that'll work. Apple Podcasts. They rebranded to Apple Podcasts, so we're on there. We've always been on there. If you're feeling so inclined, we would really appreciate a rating or 2.
Be nice.
That would be nice. And share with a friend. And if you're on YouTube, throw us smash the like button.
There you go.
Wait, thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
And subscribe, I guess. We have a couple subscribers on there.
We do.
We just sort of put it on YouTube. We don't do anything else. And we still were looking into Twitch, but that fell upon crickets.
Oh.
So, yeah. So I guess that we'll hold off. We got enough shit to worry about anyway. What airline we're going to fly.
Yeah.
Anyway, until next time, I'm Chip.
I'm CERN.
Cheers.